life has its ups and downs. Turn your pretty face to an ugly frown. Seems that when I fix one thing,
hello, welcome back to The Awakening. I'm your host, Angela Brown. Today's topic for discussion, a further discussion I should say, is a recipe for life. Have you allowed someone or something to hold you down, to take away your thoughts, your feelings, your views? Today we're going to be talking about another ingredient in life, and it's going to be taking back your life and how to get there. No woman or any man out there should be suffering. If you have a problem, if you're in a situation which is not good for you, give me a call, come on the show, we'll talk about it, and I guarantee you we can fix it. Welcome back, Mary Davison, to my show.
Thank you.
How are you today? You're such a pretty smile. I like that.
Thanks. I'm doing great, thank you.
Okay, so our show today is called A Recipe for Life, as usual. We're doing about a 7-week segment, segment about once a month. Yeah. And we're going to talk today about how to take back your own life. Yes. So let's start with what is life. Life is when you're born. Yes. You come into the world, you leave your mother's womb where you're protected, and it seems like you're out there all on your own. Yeah. Then she takes care of your dirty diapers. She feeds you that bottle or the breast, whatever she does. Baby food and milk, she walks with you and she tries to train you. But then after you leave the cub, which the mom is, the big mama cub, you're going to get out there and you've got to go do things on your own.
That's correct.
So how do you relate to people? If I walked up to you, Mary, say in school, let's start grade school because it starts there. And I said, oh, Mary, I do not like the way you look. You know, you are not pretty at all. And right away, that sets something going in your brain that there's got to be something wrong with me. Yeah. Correct?
It can happen.
Okay, you know, if we're weak.
It can happen. You know, I just, that's why it's important to teach children to have, to value themselves, to have self-worth, to have healthy self-esteem. We've talked about this multiple times on different shows.
Lots of respect for themselves.
Lots of respect for themselves. Yes. And that's why it's critical that they have a father in the home or uncle or a male role model.
Grandfather.
Along with, that's right, along with their mom or their aunt. And so they can definitely nurture that self-esteem. Yes, absolutely.
Do you think a child suffers when they go through a divorce in the family?
Yes, I do. I do feel that. Well, divorce definitely affects the entire household.
Right.
But not only just the entire household, it affects the people that are around you as well, your friends.
Right.
So when you divorce someone, you're not just divorcing that person, you are divorcing the entire family and the friends that they have.
I've always thought, because I went through a divorce, and I divorced my husband's mother, and his father, and my children was put into the same realm like that, and that was wrong, because when you get a divorce, you're not married to the man, but you still have that family. You need that family. You need it desperately.
Right, right. And that's why you have to, the mother and the dad, they have to foster an environment even for the sake of the children. Even though mom and dad's not together, they need to get along for the sake of the children.
And also, don't you think if it's dad's weekends with the children, he should not put down mom? And if it's mom's weekend with the children, don't put down dad?
You know, it's good. That's a very good question, because I'm divorced. We talked about that a little bit.
You have two daughters.
I have 2 grown daughters. And one thing I can honestly say, I never spoke ill or bad, said any derogatory names or anything derogatory towards their father.
Right.
And
that's good, though, Mary. That's the way to give the child a healthy brain and a good, healthy outlook on their parents.
Right. Because when they become adults, they will realize for themselves, you know, and then they can form their own opinion.
Exactly. So, let them, if they're going to make their own choices, they have to make their own opinions,
that's
right?
Correct. That's right.
Because you can't have mom say, well, dad's no good. Why did he cheat with that slut down the street?
Right, right.
So right away, it instills on a young girl's head or even a young man's head, hey, dad slept around, so, you know, maybe we'll do the same thing. Maybe that's what we're supposed to do.
Right.
But there's a lot of hatred and a lot of festering in a child's heart.
Right, right, right. Well, you know, it's just like, you know, our topic, Take Your Life Back.
Yeah.
It's a choice. It's something that the individual must decide for themselves. Are you going to allow something, someone, another individual to control your life? And I made up in my mind a long time ago when my ex-husband and I divorced that that I wanted something different. I wanted a wonderful life for my kids. And so you have to decide whether or not you're going to allow the divorce to control your life, or are you going to go forward. And you know, unfortunately, some people get stuck there. And not just with divorce, they get stuck with an abusive relationship. They get stuck with a bad job. They can't seem to be able to get their footing. You know, why did they fire me? Why did they lay me off? Why did they give me the pink slip? You know, so sometimes in life we get stuck.
And also another very topic thing people need to know about is that when a woman goes through a divorce or a man goes through a divorce, they're missing their other half.
Right.
Don't bring home a lady in front of your children and sleep in the same house.
Correct.
Don't bring a man home, Mom, and sleep in the same bed next to him as you would with your father.
Right.
Because these children, maybe 2 and 3, it ain't going to hurt them. It's going to hurt them, Mary.
Yeah, it does affect them. It does
I work in the
affect them.
prison system for the last 10 years. I volunteer my time to work with children. And these kids are 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13-year-olds. And they are mistreated. They have burns on themselves from what they got when they were little.
Yeah.
And they ran away because Mommy brought home a new man. Now, you know, I'm not God. I'm not a minister as you are. I'm not a preacher. But I've seen through thousands of children in the last 10 years of my life what harm a divorce does cause in a home. And don't just go up there and slap her upside the head. Well, your dad's not here. I need. They need more.
Yeah.
Because they're missing half their life.
Yes, I agree with that.
You agree with that?
I absolutely agree with that.
I may come on a little strong,
and
but
no, I agree with that wholeheartedly. And we, you know, the thing we always got to keep in mind, taking your life back. When you take your life back, you take your life back for your children.
You take everybody's life back because you change. You change, Mary. You do. You stand up and you teach your kids integrity and respect.
But when you take your life back, your kids see that. Your children see that. Especially your girl, your daughters. They see that and they say, okay. So when a man comes along, and a young man comes along in their teens, if you will, or even younger, and try to mistreat them, guess what? They're going to say, wait a minute. I saw my mother take her life back. Oh, I don't have to accept this. I don't have to live this way. And they can, you know, expect the young gentleman to treat them right. So yeah, definitely.
But what about incest with children?
Wow.
That's a very hurtful thing.
Wow.
But I've got a young, like I say, I have worked with probably 1,000 young girls who have, once the parents have gone through a divorce, mom brings home someone, and eventually that little girl is molested, okay? I'm not saying all little girls go through that. Thank God they don't. But the ones that do, it only takes one to hurt. You've got to be very careful, Mom, and I'm talking to you today. You've got to watch what you're doing.
And you know what? That's good. That's a good statement that you just made. You know, I was thinking about.
Thank you very much, because I don't want to see that happening.
Yeah, I was thinking about my baby girl, Marissa, when she was little. I remember living in the apartment that we lived in, and she used to be the vibrant one. She wanted to take out the trash and help out Mommy and everything. So she would always take the trash out. So one night, you know, I had this terrible dream, and I knew God was warning me that something was about to happen, you know, and He wanted me to prevent it. So anyway, I had this terrible dream that she went to take out the trash, and someone was waiting for her in the trash room. And so she went running down the hallway with her little, you know, curls and bouncing all over the place, happy as could be. And I said, Mommy's gonna wait right here. I'm gonna watch you, because I don't want you going in the trash room by yourself anymore. She was like, no, Mommy, I can do it. I'm a big girl. I'm a big girl. I'm a big girl. And I said, no. I said, Mommy wants to watch you. Mommy, you don't have to watch me. You don't have to watch. Yes, Mommy does have to watch you. So I watched her, and, you know, and then, of course, I sat her down. I explained to her why Mommy had to watch her. So what I'm saying is that, you know, when you take your life back, you're going to protect your children.
You must. Children are number one.
Absolutely.
You know?
And they're not a burden.
No,
you know, they're not a burden.
If they are, don't get
they
pregnant.
are a
there are
gift.
lots of ways to stop it.
they're a gift.
Yes,
you know what I mean? And my thing is,
children.
if you get pregnant, you can give it away. There are so many people that can't have children that want children. They want them. You know what I mean? So you don't always have to feel that children are a burden. They are a gift. You know, they're a gift from God. So I think, you know, especially in the United States, we just have to start looking at children differently.
Yes,
we have to
do.
look at them as
They're
a
people.
gift from God.
They're
They're little
too.
people that are going to be
Yes,
adults.
yes.
And we need to make sure that they have a healthy life and look out for their welfare. So that when they become adults, that they can have an abundant life. They can have a life that's full of fruit instead of life full of drama.
Well, no child should be raised in drama or see fighting or be hungry. But I know the thousands of kids that are out there are hungry. Yeah. It's the holiday. Can you believe Thanksgiving is in 3 days?
I know, yeah. This year went by so fast.
I know it does. And you know, like I told you, on December 23rd of last year, I fell and broke my femur. So now it's getting closer and closer to that day. Yeah. So boy, I'm afraid to go to the gym. I look all around like I'm, you know, looking for a...
Oh.
But it's that fear, you know, of having that happen to you again.
Yeah.
Even though I'm strong as a horse, they tell me, and I came back in 6 weeks, and I was back in high heels in 3 months.
Right.
But the point is, you don't forget those kind of things.
Right.
And that's why I'm telling you this, because I'm coming to this. I was married. I had my son Richard when I was 15 years old. My father and mother both drank. They fought like cats and dogs, number one. And I did everything. I did the cooking. I did the cleaning. I wanted everybody to be happy with me. If I could do all of that, they'd leave, you know, they'd stop the fighting and the drinking. It's my fault. So the more I did, the more they fought. But anyway, I got pregnant, but I got married first. Okay, really, 14, you really know what you're doing. But I got married, and I had Richard at 15. And he mistreated my child. You know, his biological dad mistreated him. I left him and went and got a job. I went back to school at night. I had to pay someone to watch my son. Right. You know, Mary, I don't know how I did that, only by the grace of God, but I prayed every day, I'm going to get an education. I remarried later, and my son was 11 years old, and he was brutally murdered. He was stabbed to death. And my darling husband said to me, that couldn't have happened to a nicer kid. He got just what he deserved.
Oh, why did he say that?
He was always jealous of Richard and I.
Okay.
The jealousy that I never picked up on, because he was always good to that child. But when he died, it came out. So, you know, we were in divorce court a year later. Oh, yeah. But the point is, you can be with someone and not really know them. They can be taking control of you. You don't know it. Yeah. They can treat your child good, and you're just as happy as can be, but you're not looking under the covers. Right. There's a boogeyman under those covers.
I think what we have to do in society, especially in a lot of the groups and seminars and workshops that we conduct regarding women, is I think we just have to learn how to connect the dots and see the red flags that are sometimes all around us, and we just are not connecting the dots in life. And so I'm learning more and more every day that when you have different situations in your life,
such as what kind of situations, Mary? Because there's all the kinds of situations.
Like for example, I mean, just like for example, I had a particular situation in a couple of years on my job that I basically went through on my job. It was regarding self-esteem, self-worth, and
somebody putting you down.
Like for example, my boss, well, what I learned is that when people are insecure. And he was a micromanager. And when you're insecure, it manifests differently in everybody. Some people it manifests through shopping. Some people it manifests through murder, through rape, you know, incest, whatever. But it all stems back. And
snack
food.
Time. Oh, food.
And so some people eat, and some people, you know, don't eat. Drinking, smoking. I mean, it can manifest, you know, in different areas of your life.
But you don't even realize what you're doing.
Sometimes, and then sometimes you can realize you just don't know how to stop.
You don't know. You can be miserable as hell, but you don't really want to say, I'm miserable because this is all I've got. Right. Maybe you don't have enough of education. Maybe you don't make enough of money. It takes two, you know, people to raise, you know, take care of a family.
But those are all crutches.
They are crutches.
They're crutches.
You can do it.
They're
I'm 15 and I'm going back to school, and I'm taking care of my own child. Yeah. That's the God's honest truth, and it was hard. Yeah. But you know, I felt one strong bitch. I was, you go, girl. Didn't say that back then, but I did. Yeah. I clawed my way back. Yeah. It was hard. Yeah. Oh, it was hard. Yeah.
But and what you're saying is the pain is a reality. Was a reality. I'm not denying the pain. It was real.
Yes, it was.
Right. But look at your life now, though.